And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Ryan Metzler.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan Metzler here again, and today we're going to take a look at a little dexterity and matching game called Jungle Speed. You may have seen it around at Barnes & Noble or all over the place. It's sold in some popular stores, and it's just a light little game where you're going to be matching cards by flipping them out away from you and seeing if you match anybody else's cards, and then trying to grab this little rubber plasticky totem thing before anybody else who matches with you in order to get rid of your cards. So real quick, we'll look and see what that looks like, what the cards look like, and how that works. And then we'll come back here and we'll get my final opinions on Jungle Speed and the Jungle Speed expansion that I'm going to show you at the same time. So here you can see the components for Jungle Speed. Now, a little warning beforehand, I have mixed my copies of Jungle Speed and the Jungle Speed expansion, so I'm going to be covering both. And the base cards for all of those are in these decks. So not all of the cards you see here will be included in the base Jungle Speed, but they're very similar between Jungle Speed and the Jungle Speed expansion, so they're hard to separate and there's no identifying marks. Anyhow, this is a game about trying to get rid of your stack of cards, and you're going to do so by grabbing this totem. And whoever grabs this totem is going to be the winner of a round. Now, the way you grab a totem is you're going to be flipping cards from the top of your deck. Each person will have a deck of their own cards, and you're going to flip them away from you. So, for example, this player will flip, and we'll see that it's this green thing here. So they'll flip, and it's going to be this green thing here. And they'll put it out in front of them, and so everyone can see it. It's green. The next player is then going to flip a card from them, away from them, and you'll see it's this kind of weird squiggly shape that is purple. The colors are not important at the beginning. You're trying to match shapes, and when shapes match, you're going to grab this. So the next player will flip, and you'll see they have this purple shape. Now, this purple shape is kind of similar to this purple shape, and you're going to be moving fast, so you may mistake them for the same shape. Those aren't too bad, but this next player is going to flip one. Okay, they have this weird squiggly line thing. And then this player is going to flip one. Well, now, you see we have this piece here, and we're going to compare this one. You'll see that these two match. The line here goes over these two lines, and then the other side goes under. These are a match. The color doesn't need to match, only the shape. And these two players then would be in on grabbing this totem. They're both going to go for it as fast as they can, and whoever grabs it is going to be the winner there. And they're going to take the other person's cards, and add, as well as their own cards, and add them to the bottom of their stack. Now, it gets even crazier because some of the shapes are even more similar. So we have things like this star. This would go back in the center. We have things, with squares and circles and octagons. And this piece right here, this is a lot like the ones you just saw, except for that both lines go over. So you'll see over and over, over and under. So they're very similar at times. And you have to pay close attention to what you're flipping over. Now, there are other cards that are going to add to the mayhem here. There are cards that are included with it that are kind of special action type cards. For example, there's this one here. When you flip one of these over, everyone is going to have to flip a card at the same time. So everyone's going to grab a card, and like on the count of three, you're all going to flip. Now, this may result in a match. It doesn't in this case, but it could. If there's a match, everyone involved is going to swipe for it. There's also cards that look like this. You play one of these out. When somebody flips one of these from the top of their deck, instead of paying attention to matches based on shapes, you're going to pay attention to matches based on color. So all of a sudden, even though these cards weren't a match before, they are, and these two players need to grab for the totem and grab it. Now, you can imagine this will get sometimes crazy. You're going to knock it over. Sometimes you're going to reach for it and you're going to grab it when you shouldn't. And if you do that, everyone is going to give you their cards. So if you make a mistake, you get everyone's cards, including yourselves, and everything starts anew. In the expansion, they've added a couple of newer ones that have different effects. So you're going to see one like this, where all the arrows point to the left. This is going to mean that you're going to play looking at the person to your left's card. So now, if I was this player, I'd be going off of this card, and this player would be playing off of this card, and you're looking for matches with the card to the left of you, which is really confusing. Or you're going to have this one, which is when it's flipped out, you're going to have to stack your hands on the totem. Whoever's on the bottom is the winner, and whoever's on the top is the loser, and is going to have to take cards based on that. You also have, actually this is just a repeat. Nope, sorry, it's not. This one here. This one here means everybody grab immediately. This is a card that's actually included with the base game, but this means everyone grab immediately. So when this gets flipped out, everyone's just going to swipe for it and go as fast as they can. Now, as I said, if you knock it off, you made a mistake. Anything that happens, you're going to have to take your cards, and they're going to go to whoever made the mistake. Sometimes cards will go underneath the totem. For example, if you're the first one to grab it with this card right here, you place your cards underneath the totem, and the next person who makes a mistake or has to take cards is going to take those cards as well. Anyway, as you make mistakes or as you lose to different challenges, the cards are going to go underneath your pile and it's going to grow and grow. But if you're doing well, you're making matches, you're getting the totem, and you manage to get rid of all of your cards, you're going to be the winner of that round. Now, the game plays pretty quickly because people are flipping their cards out as fast as they can, trying to avoid getting caught in scenarios where they have to grab the totem, because if something gets covered up, then it's too late and you can't grab the totem. So the objective here, go fast, notice matches, get rid of your cards, be the first one to do so, and be the winner of Jungle Speed. Well, there you have it. That is Jungle Speed and the Jungle Speed Extreme Expansion, I think is the name of it. This is a game that we first played at a con, a local con, and we loved it so much, but we played with the version with the wooden totem the first time. Instead of being this rubber, it's wooden, and it does a lot more damage if you miss it or smack somebody with it or slam your hand against the table with the totem or whatever the case may be. It ends up hurting a lot. And I like that version. I wish I had a copy of that version. But this rubber version is a little easier on the play style. It doesn't hurt as much if you smack it or hit somebody else with it. It's not so bad. The game is a lot of fun. It plays really fast. It plays, I don't even know how many players. 6 and more is down to 3, but it's not as much fun. You want a lot of people when you're playing this game. And you want crazy interactions. You want fast flipping and excitement. And it really does play out very well as a con game towards the end of the night when you don't want to sit down to another heavy game and get something going. You can just bust out Jungle Speed and get that chaos going down. So if you're looking for a great game to close out a night, take a look at Jungle Speed from Asmodee. I think it's really a great addition to any collection for a board gamer.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.